Hello.
Oh my God, I'm sorry. There you are. My internet wasn't working.
Yeah, internet's not that strong here at ASU either. So, how are you ladies? No, both of you have little ones. Oh, the timing of nap time, right? Hey, Danny. Wow, look, there's 4 of us on tonight. Woohoo! Okay, I'm going to open up the chat functions. We can all chat with each other. Because I know Sydney's got a sleeping one right now. Okay. Well, we actually managed to get the officers here tonight. That's great. So I am in our new digs, the official meeting space at ASU Tempe. This is called KBAB. This is the room. That's what it's called, and it's kind of a cool space. So eventually we are going to hook up to this TV behind me here. We'll be on the big screen. That'll be cool. There's actually a video camera right underneath.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll just turn it around. There's a whiteboard like built into the wall. That's cool. Lots of plugs for potential laptop users. I don't know. Or people who want to plug in or charge their cell phones, I guess, because there's that. And this is our official, this will be our official meeting space for the in-person students who will eventually be joining us. I'm in an empty room at the moment, so eventually we will have a whole room full of people. That'll be awesome. In the meantime, though, this is lovely that we can all meet online at the moment. So let me see. So I don't know if you ladies have officially met each other because we've all had kind of separate meetings with everyone. Sydney and Christina made it to the officer meeting on like last Saturday. I don't even know if they got a chance to talk to each other because everybody's babies are sleeping and everything's on mute. But I guess let's start with a little introduction. Danny, if you want to start, since your mic is on.
Okay, so I'm a junior at ASU Online. I'm majoring in biological sciences. I want to go to med school, but I have like a holistic approach on medicine. So treat the patient as a whole and not just treat their symptoms. I currently work as a medical scribe, so I work with a doctor that is very much like holistic, and she likes to give other alternatives to medicine sometimes, especially if like patients are like not wanting to do medicine. We kind of talk about like dietary options, exercising, just all that stuff out there. And I also work at Starbucks on the weekends, which is why sometimes I don't make it to the meetings on Saturdays, just because I work at Starbucks, and it does get a little bit busy. But yeah, that is me. That is who I am.
Thank you. Okay, Christina, can you talk?
Yeah, I have birds in my room, so that's why I muted it.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Christina Lewandowski. I'm Community Outreach Officer. I'm also a junior online at ASU. I work as a school nurse and also as like an enrichment program director. So after I nurse, I go there for the school district.
And I'm also going to med school, hopefully after this. So, hi.
Cool. And Sydney, can you talk?
Yeah, okay. My baby actually woke up, so he's
Oh,
talking.
hey.
I'm sorry. I'm Sydney. I'm double majoring in biochemistry and biological sciences, thinking about adding a minor in global health, but not too sure if I want to pay that much money yet. Currently not working. I'll be starting a new job as a pharmacy technician in about 2 weeks. And I have a 7-month-old son, and that's how I spend all of my time.
Okay, well, y'all pretty much know what I'm about. Let's see. I'm right now, I think I'm a junior, but I honestly don't know where I'm at. I am seriously considering switching from biological sciences to nutritional science. There's a human nutrition program that would actually use all of the different classes I've taken so far for biology and would be kind of a blend and let me focus on nutrition, which is actually my passion. So it's awesome. So that's coming probably not spring, maybe next fall. I'll actually make that transition. I'll be an in-person ASU student. But all this time I've been doing online, and it's been awesome, but kind of lonely, which is kind of why I wanted to start the club. I wanted to connect with people that were kind of heading in that same direction or similar directions, that we can build relationships and talk about healthcare, talk about the challenges in healthcare, but also talk about the possibilities of what we could create in healthcare, because there's a lot that we can do. There's a lot of possibilities, especially when you're talking about integrative healthcare or bringing holistic practitioners into an allopathic environment, or bringing even quantum practitioners, Reiki practitioners into an allopathic environment. Like they're actually doing that right now at different hospitals around the world. They bring Reiki practitioners in to provide Reiki for surgery patients who are just recently out of surgery, or even heart patients that are going through, recently had a heart attack, or, God knows what else. And well, I could go on and on, but that is where I'm at with school, what I want to do with the club. I am working full-time. I work at Marathon Petroleum, which is a huge petroleum company, which is very strange for me as a holistic practitioner to be working at a petroleum company. But it was an opportunity and a temp gig, basically. I'll be there until the end of the year, and they'll decide whether they want to pursue my contract or hire me or what have you. Now, in the meantime, I've been looking at other opportunities, working at naturopathic medicine doctor offices, working at chiropractic offices. I have a lot of strength in administrative office management and all that. So that's kind of where I'm at with my employment situation. Also own a business. I am a health coach. I'm a yoga teacher, and I'm a Reiki practitioner. So I've been doing all that for almost 10 years now. And having just moved to Arizona, I kind of have to reestablish my business and start all over again and grow from here and show people what I'm up to. So I've been kind of putting myself out there, putting my business cards in places, which is honestly not the best way to network. Putting myself in places. I go to networking groups, I go to, business opportunities and things like that. So as kind of a side note to that, since I am physically here in Tempe, I do have opportunities. So I was able to email you guys a copy of the Pre-Health 101 seminar that I went to. And my notes were legible, but the scan was ridiculous. So I hope you were able to actually read it and decipher it. since it's just the four of us here, do you have any questions about it? No? Christina, anything?
No, I'm good.
I mean, the biggest takeaway I think that I got from it was to understand the steps that you have to take in order to apply to med school or whatever professional school you're planning to go to. So like, look at those schools, look at the application requirements, and figure out timing wise when you need to apply. What I heard from her was most of us should be applying the summer after our junior year. So that would be like pretty much right now for me at the end of the spring semester. I should be applying to the naturopathic medicine schools. And honestly, I'm not ready. So the other thing that she mentioned that was a good takeaway is that a lot of pre-med students take a gap year. So they'll actually start applying their junior year, but will take a year off of school to kind of get ready to get into medical school. So that was something that was kind of interesting. She mentioned that you probably will need to take an entrance exam in order to apply. And so that was something, you know, once you review where you're going or where you'd like to go, find out what tests you have to take in order to get in. I have to take the, I think it's the GMAT. I don't remember. I wrote it down somewhere, but I don't really think I'm ready to take it. I know that most of the entrance exams, you have to take biochemistry before you take the exam because a lot of the focus is on biochemistry. So they say take biochem right before you take the test because that's going to help you the most to pass that test. And then the last thing was just cultivate relationships. You know, talk to your professors. Since you're all online, I've been trying different things like setting up Zoom meetings with my professor to ask questions or go over an exam or, you know, just understand whatever it is we're talking about. I'm really struggling in chemistry at the moment, so I've been meeting with my professor every single week. So hopefully he'll remember me and he'll remember my passion and my focus and want to help with a letter of recommendation at the end of the 2 classes that I have with him. So that'll be cool. So that was it. They do have pre-health advisors, so if you haven't reached out to the advisors yet, that was something that she suggested, that take the time to email them, set up an appointment, talk to them about your plan, because that will actually help support what you need to do in the next 2 to 3 years to get into med school. And so that is pretty much it. They have a website, which was at the very bottom, and a phone number at the very last page of that scan. So if you want to reach out there, that is it. So let's see, give you some updates. I have reached out to 5 different Reiki practitioners to put together a panel discussion for our learning opportunity. Tuesday, September 24th. So we do have a camera available to us in the room that we're going to be in. So that is pretty freaking awesome. All I have to do is figure out how to hook up to it and hook our Zoom meeting up to it. So I almost think I should go there a little early, maybe the week before or something, just to kind of learn how the system works. So I'll add that to my list of things to do. But right now, of the 5 panelists, I have a coffee meeting with one of them on Sunday. And one of them said their birthday is that day, so they may not come. So I might need to reach out to more Reiki practitioners. A good panel discussion, I think, is 5 to 6 people to get some good feedback about whatever it is you're talking about. So I did reach out to Casey Miller, who is the creator of and teacher at Southwest Institute for the Healing Arts. They're the local school for a lot of holistic therapies. They do a holistic nutrition program. They do a transformation coaching program, massage therapy, even nutrition in general. They have cooking classes. They have skincare. So it's like a skin, what are they called? Estheticians. So the esthetician school that's also attached, and a lot of the estheticians use all clean products that have no chemicals in them, which is awesome because I'm really sensitive. And anyway, the SWIHA is the short name for the school, and I signed up for several of their Facebook groups, so I'm able to communicate with them on Facebook. Also, my wife goes to that school for a massage program, so I have some connection there. They're going to be putting on a holistic fair in the next month that I'll be participating in, and I'll bring flyers with me for the club to that event so I can get some SWIHA students to join us. One of the intentions was to open it up to outside practitioners, and I would love to bring them to the campus here and get them to participate here. So far, starting that conversation has been a bit challenging, but I'm still trying. So I mentioned Casey Miller. She's a big inspiration for a lot of people. She's a Reiki practitioner that does the holy, I don't remember what it's called, holy Reiki, holy something Reiki, which is a different type of Reiki taught by a different practitioner. The Reiki that I was taught in is the Usui Reiki, which Usui was the teacher. Originally, Reiki was a very it was only taught in person, and it was only, the transmissions were only from teacher to students, so the information wasn't allowed to be out in the world. It was only allowed to be in the classroom. And so the interesting thing, I have been scouring the internet for all kinds of things, and the one thing that I did find was Reiki symbols. So you can, it used to be that you couldn't see Reiki symbols anywhere, they weren't shared. And now they're all over the internet, and you can download them and share them. And you can take a Reiki class on YouTube and learn Reiki in a weekend, which is a lot different. The conversation is a lot different now, 100 years later. So that's my Reiki story. My teacher was a holistic Reiki practitioner, so a lot of what I learned about Reiki, I'm able to translate into holistic healthcare and teach people about how Reiki is a holistic therapy, but also how the energy is scientifically proven that we could actually use this to heal, which is very cool. So I have a lot of passion for Reiki, and so when I had this opportunity to bring in practitioners to talk to students, the first thing I thought of was, let's talk about Reiki, let's talk about quantum healing, because it is totally on a different level than holistic medicine. And because there's a connection in allopathic medicine, we can bring Reiki practitioners to allopathic facilities. And a lot of doctors are now waking up and realizing that this therapy is actually useful. We can bring these practitioners in, it can help their patients. So doctors are realizing that it's okay to have a Reiki practitioner in your office, or it's okay to bring a Reiki practitioner in for patients that are in their healing process. So I love that conversation. I would love to bring some doctors to our learning opportunity meetings, allopathic docs, to learn about Reiki, to learn about what we're talking about. That would be very cool. The other thing that we've been working on is a discussion about our t-shirt contest. So grab a flyer. So Sydney put together a cool flyer for us. It says Pre-Health Integrative Holistic and Quantum Club enter our club t-shirt contest. And one lucky winner's design will be our first club t-shirt. Will be on our first club t-shirt. And we're asking people to submit their final design by October 31st. So you all are allowed to participate. So if you have design skills, by all means, put together a cool design and send it in. But it's basically just saying email all your submissions to prehealthholistikasu@gmail.com. So that's kind of exciting. Hi. I hope I'm not the only one. No, well, it's an online meeting, but also in person. So, hello. Yeah, and eventually we'll be up there. But since this is our first night in here, I wasn't sure how to do it. So actually, I'll get you on the video. Sit over here.
I'm taking notes. Who joined?
So, what's your name? Mona. Hi, Mona. You just joined us like 2 days ago, right? Nice to meet you. I'm Stephanie. Yeah. Well, you're right there. Yeah. Okay. So, hey, we have an in-person human being in the room with me. This is so exciting. So honestly, I'll give you a little bit of history. So here's this Mona. So we started the club in August, like right in the beginning of August. I started to put it out there and get the word out about it, but there was very limited attention for the in-person students. So it was like I was so I was like, crap, well, maybe since I'm an ASU online student, maybe I should try to reach out to the online student community and see if I can get it rolling that way. And so actually, the three of the ladies here, Daniela is my vice president, Christina is our community outreach officer, and Sydney is, hey brain. Sydney, what is your title? VP of Operations and Trips.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I keep notes. Anyway, so let's see, where were we? So as far as like in-person meetings go, we do a Wednesday night in-person meeting from 7 to 8:30, and then we do the fourth Tuesday of every month, we do a learning opportunity at ASU downtown, which for that I'll be bringing in practitioners. So I put an announcement out on Sun Devil Think about it. But right now we're kind of developing that. So if you want to take a minute and introduce yourself to the group. Who are you? What attracted you to join us?
So I'm an incoming freshman. I'm not freshman. Transfer. I feel like a freshman now, so
I can relate.
I'm a public health major, so I'm majority downtown. I have a class at West. But I love Tempe, so I feel like I'm always here. Just because it's a nice campus, so nice to study here. There's so many spaces. What else about me? How did I find out about it? Well, I was just perusing through the clubs just because I'm a transfer student, and I was involved when I was at a community college. And I love that, so I wanted to make sure that that's something that I consistently did throughout my undergrad. And then I'm kind of interested in naturopathy. I was in between naturopathy and medical. So I looked at this and I was like, oh, perfect. And it will help me figure that out. And if I'm kind of with people with kind of like-minded, I guess, prospects, then I'll figure it out somehow.
Definitely. Our goal with the learning opportunity especially is to bring doctors and therapists that are in the fields that we want to get into to do a talk for us, for a presentation on what it was like to go through that school, what it was like to build their business, what it was like to kind of gauge the healthcare community in a holistic way. Not as easy as just jumping in as a medical doctor. You kind of have to build a relationship with your community first before people are really willing to open their door and say, yeah, this is something I'm willing to try. That being said, holistic therapies and quantum therapies are more and more often being recognized as valid therapies that are actually helping people heal. So I'm pre-health. My plan is to go to a naturopathic medicine school. So, and that is solid. I don't want to be an allopathic doctor. I can't. I don't know how much of this I shared with you ladies. My dad was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes when he was in his 60s. And very shortly after that, he was diagnosed with congestive heart failure. He had his first heart attack. I was 17, first time I saw him, hooked up to wires in a hospital bed. And it kind of scared the crap out of me at 17. But then kept having heart attack after heart attack. His diabetes got worse. He had peripheral neuropathy in all of his limbs. So as a result of poor circulation, he started to get numbness and tingling in his hands and feet, and it got so bad that eventually they put him on morphine. So you can imagine, of all the drugs that you can put a person on, morphine messes with your brain a lot. It makes it so you can't really think very clearly, and it also kind of changes your personality. So he became a different person. My dad, by the time he passed away in 2015 of a major heart attack. By the time he passed away, he had 27 heart attacks. He'd been in the hospital almost every year for either heart pain or digestive issues or something related to his diabetes. Thankfully, he never went into a coma, like a diabetic coma. He was really good about eating. He was more likely to eat too much. So I watched him basically die for the last 25 years of his life. And it was hard to watch. Hard to especially watch going to doctor's appointments with him and seeing him take the advice of the doctor maybe for the first week and then walk away from it. And he never really committed to change. He never really committed to a healthy diet, to exercise, to being responsible for his own health. He always thought that it was up to the doctors to fix him, and they never did. And so coming away from that, I felt like allopathic medicine is crap. Like, this doesn't do anything. It's not helping people. What are we doing? Why are we doing this? It doesn't make any sense. And so I started researching and learning about natural healing and started learning about nutrition. And one of the things that I found was a vegan diet can heal the body. You can take heart disease and diabetes out of your disease realm. You don't have to be sick. So I tried with my dad. I tried so hard to teach him about veganism, to teach him about how to deal with his health, you know, all the things that I've learned, but there wasn't a lot that I could teach him. you know, being his daughter, he didn't want to learn from me. So I have basically made it my mission in life to teach other people how to heal, how to access their own healing abilities so that they don't have to die in the way that my father did, because it was painful. It was hard to watch as his daughter, but it was also really hard for my mom. My mom was his caregiver for the last 10 years of his life. So my passion for holistic medicine, but also my desire to connect holistic and quantum therapies to integrative medicine so that we can really teach people about how effective these therapies are. Super passionate about that, and I really want to get more of this conversation going before I get to the naturopathic school, but also, you know, on a global community. I think that we all need to talk about this. I think this is really important, that people need to, you know, people know that they have access to healing that maybe it isn't through a pill or through surgery, but maybe there's another alternative. Okay, so I'm gonna take you. Okay, so I was mentioning the t-shirt contest. If you have design skills, we're creating a t-shirt for the club. So that when we're out at events, we can, you know, talk to people about it. And what else? Okay, so this is the first time that Zoom has said remaining meeting time 8 minutes, upgrade to Pro. So I think that they are wanting us to pay for this. So we're gonna have to talk about that sooner rather than later, I think. If we get cut off, which I've had that happen with Zoom before, I'm going to start a new meeting and we'll just kind of log back in and keep talking. But I would love for us to talk a little bit more about our plans for the learning opportunity, figure out what kind of practitioners you want to hear from. Since you ladies will kind of be on the receiving end of these presentations, I would love to bring you practitioner talks that are actually relevant to your path and what you want to do. So definitely a naturopath doc. I would love to get even a panel of naturopaths to come and speak. That would be so cool. But one would be great. So that's kind of an obvious one. Okay, Daniela, what would you like? What would you like to hear?
So I mean, I know what I have an idea of what I want to do and like what I want to go into. I'm really interested in like oncology or like neurology. And I know there's like a lot. I mean, I feel like with like cancer treatments, I think it's a lot harder for people to accept treatment, just because a lot of people, someone that had cancer, someone that went through chemotherapy, and they know that it didn't work for. So it's a lot easier for people to kind of be a little reluctant about receiving like chemotherapy or whatever. But I think with cancer, a lot of people are open to trying healthy choices like diets and stuff like that. About like maybe like 2 months ago, I went to the doctor because I had headaches. And I've always I guess thought that I might have a brain tumor. So I got an MRI and I just like posted about it on like my Instagram, and somebody commented and they were like, become vegan. They were like, I had a brain tumor. I became vegan and my tumor's gone. I don't know how much of that is true. I don't really know this person, so I don't really, I don't have his, medical history or his chart or anything like that. But I mean, it's something that a lot of people are, turning to alternative forms of treatment for cancer, just because it's something that we just really don't know about. It's something that's so I mean, we think we know a lot about it, but we really don't. So just something like that would be pretty interesting. Like, I guess, like just alternative treatments to, cancer, because I do think that at the end of the day, oncologists, their main goal is to treat the patient. But let's say you have a patient that, is like terminally ill. There's no way of like healing them. You also have to think about not just being a doctor and telling them, hey, there's nothing I can do for you. You also have to think about ways to comfort that person.
Right.
And sometimes, I know a lot of times doctors will tell people like, hey, I really don't know what's going on. I have nothing else to do. It would be comforting for a patient to tell them, hey, I have no other medication or any other medical treatments I can give you, but, there's a lot of research with diet, with certain exercises, like, it's a lot more than just treating the cancer. It's also about finding ways to make that patient feel like, they have other options.
There's hope.
Yeah, we don't know. Like, I mean, you really don't know what, there could be a cure to it, and it's something that we just never really thought about. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So alternative cancer treatments, I have a couple of ideas, different therapists that I could call. How about you, Christina? What kind of practitioners would you like to hear speak?
Honestly, like probably nutritionists if possible, because I know I had a really severe eating disorder that was playing into my medical issues I had already. So I think that's like a really crucial part of healing, because once I corrected my diet and went AIP, like I'm so much better.
You went what?
The autoimmune protocol.
Oh.
So like, yeah.
Okay. Nutritionists. Okay. Sydney, how about you? What kind of practitioners would you like to hear speak? Are you there?
Okay, there we go. My computer's being stupid. So I want to hear from a pediatric DO or a naturopathic pediatrician if possible. I know they're harder to find, but that's what I'm planning on being. So I want
Okay.
to make sure it's something I actually want to do.
Nice. Okay. So pediatric DO or ND. Cool. Other than naturopathy, what about you, Mona? Would you like to hear from another type of therapist?
Maybe a physician's assistant.
Okay. Cool. Okay.
I feel like they'll be a lot easier to get over here. So. Yeah.
Probably less obligations.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So as we have all of our officers here, except Riley, I wish he would join us. Also, where the heck is Mapson? She signed up to be our secretary and she hasn't joined us at all. I'm really hoping that I can get her on board. She was really excited to be a part of it, but I think with the time difference, it's kind of hard to judge. She's in Hawaii, so she's 2 hours behind us. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. I'm gonna have to reach out to her personally and see. But in the meantime, we have a little work to do. So over the next 6 months, we are basically going to need to reach out to all these different types of practitioners and see who's willing to come and speak. It is possible to bring someone in from out of state, possibly through Zoom, but if not through Zoom, then maybe we can set up a webinar or some kind of system in that way, a video system that they could present